Good morning, Titans! Today is Wednesday, March 4th, and you're watching OlyTV.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another fantastic OlyTV video. And you know what? The YouTube genie says it's completely impossible for you to hit that subscribe and the like button at the same time with your eyes closed. So why don't we go ahead and prove him wrong? Anyway, let's get back to the video. This is going to be an awesome production. I hope y'all love it.
Students, today ACT prep will be held in Mr. Martin's room 361.
Attention, all juniors, currently running for student body officer in the 2026 to 27 school year. This is your reminder that your electronic candidate portfolio is due today, March 4th by 10 a.m. Also, be sure to stop by room 261 to find out what time you'll be interviewing next Monday. If you have any questions about your interview, please see Mrs. Kennington.
Get excited! The Spring Band concert is Tuesday, March 10th at 7 p.m. The Wind Ensemble, Symphonic Band, Jazz Band, and Percussion have some amazing music prepared. Come support your friends, enjoy the great music.
ACT prep will be held today, room 361, with Mr. Martin.
Come join FBLA during flex time today at the alumni room to make cards for the elderly. It is a great way to earn service hours, and you get a slushie.
Unfortunately, we have lost actor Eric Dane. Here's Gracie with more.
Known for his work in numerous shows and films such as Euphoria, Grey's Anatomy, Bad Boys Ride or Die, and many others.
Right?
Dane was diagnosed with ALS,
right?
a progressive fatal neurodegenerative disease, in 2024 and announced his diagnosis in April 2025. During his battle against ALS, he became an advocate for the disease and raised awareness throughout his journey. Co-stars from his previous shows and films have posted Instagram stories and posts about the memories that they have shared with him. Eric Dane was a Hollywood legend and will be greatly missed.
As many people may know, nearly a month ago, many people in the state participated in protests against a government law agency by the name of ICE. Kai wanted to look further into why protests were happening, and this is what he found.
This week on OlyTV, I want to discuss the facts of protesting happening against what is considered to be Trump's now, and I quote, personal police. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of the case, I want to quickly establish that by making this video, I take no political side for anyone, as I just want to cover the truth in rough, broad strokes. Please don't shoot me for making this video. I wish I was making some sort of twisted joke, but I am not. Again, I take no political side during any point in this video. Please don't shoot me. This issue took a start after Trump started to migrate people of specific backgrounds back to countries they came from, regardless of whether or not they immigrated here recently, immigrated illegally or legally, or if they were technically US citizens. He just was immigrating people back to where they came from, with news reports saying that Trump was illegally acting to push immigrants back to where they came from. It was clear from the start that it was going to be a huge controversy. One case that stood out to many Americans was 5-year-old Liam Conillo Ramos being taken into custody by ICE agents from his house in a Minneapolis suburb on January 20th this year. While many news sources and first-hand accounts from people claim ICE was using the child as bait to lure his parents and siblings out of their home to haul them away, ICE and the DHS claimed that they were simply just trying to return the child to his parents for his safety. In the end, the family spent 10 days in a detention center. A federal judge ordered their release and had a congressman by the name of Joaquin Castro accompany them back to Minnesota. As it turns out, Liam wasn't the only child from his school district of Columbia Heights to be detained by ICE within a 2-week period. Liam's family is still struggling to recover to this day from the incident. This incident was then followed by a shooting of a 37-year-old ICU nurse named Alex Pariti in Minneapolis. According to ICE, the man was holding a gun, but eyewitnesses and reporters on the scene found the man was actually holding a phone. It was later then found that the man did in fact have a gun, but the gun itself was in Alex's pocket, away from view, and he was allowed by law to carry this firearm for safety precautions and purposes. This shooting sparked massive protests across the country. Coming back to Utah, on February 6th, a little under 3 weeks ago now, Utahns everywhere, from Olympus to Slick and the U to Kearns, protesters in Utah have gone crazy over ICE, trying to end the ICE raids. This doesn't fully paint the picture though, because as Utah did have a massive protest, there are states that are currently doing way more to end ICE. States like California, Minnesota, Texas, New York, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Washington are considered to be the most active protesters trying to end the raids. One final note before I kick things back to the desk though, is that I want to make sure people understand this all could have been prevented and avoided if we made a different option. While these protests are happening because of choices Trump, ICE, and the government made, the reality is that we kind of gave this to ourselves. This is kind of our own fault because we made the choice to put them there, in control of what we gave them. To end this report, I want to talk about voting. I know, it's a bit of a cliche. And given the fact that this is one of the few things people don't talk about on Thanksgiving, I probably shouldn't cover it, but I'm going to anyways. We, as the majority of Americans, gave Trump this much power when we put him into office, when the majority of Americans voted for him in 2024, despite him saying he was going to do the things he is doing now. He warned us of what was to come if he was elected, and for some reason, people kind of just ignored it, with some unknown reason. With this not being the first wacky president for either political party, Biden,
I don't know. Donald Trump is reelected. Freudian slip.
Thank you, guys.
Will you take questions on inflation then?
Let's move. Thank you. Thank you
Do
all.
you think inflation is a political liability?
That's a great asset. More inflation. What a stupid son of a... We should challenge students in these schools to have advanced placement programs in these schools. We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids. No, I really mean it, but think how we think about it.
I think it's safe to say we haven't had a mentally stable president that everyone agrees with for a long time. All this is just to say, please be careful who you vote for. It's important to remember that your vote matters, and if you don't pick carefully, you could be the cause behind problems like this. I think the reality is we kind of put this upon ourselves. Trump wasn't the super big problem here. We were not being careful with our votes. Anyways, let's head back to the desk to review the rest of the week's information. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Kai, for your analysis on the ICE protests.
Now let's head on to sports and entertainment with Julie Joe.
Thanks, Hendo. Last Friday, our Olympus boys basketball team completed the three-peat, winning their third consecutive state championship. The Titans defeated the bountiful Red Hawks 53-46 on a back-and-forth showcase. Coach Matt Barnes continued to cement his legacy in high school basketball history and continuing the dynasty that he has built here, winning their 6th championship in school history and their 4th in 5 years. On the entertainment side of things, there's quite a bit going on. A gaming company called Hoyoverse has exploded in popularity since they came out in 2022. Here's AJ with more.
A gaming company called Hoyoverse came out in 2022 with new games that have been popular everywhere. One of those games is called Tears of Themis, which is a free-to-play romantic adventure detective game with around 1 million players. Zenless Zone Zero is a fast-paced urban fantasy action RPG game with around 50 million players. Honkai Third is a free-to-play anime action RPG game, 200 million players. But we can't get that confused with Honkai Star Rail, which is a turn-based strategic RPG game And then their most popular game, which is Genshin Impact, which is a open-world action game with around 300 million players worldwide. HoYoverse has also come out with a HoYo Lab, which is where people that play their games can go on and talk to other people that also play and find out like ways that they can play and get help from other people. They can show the characters that they have, their builds, and just shows them how, and it shows them better ways that they can build all their characters.
Thanks, AJ. Moving on, there are a lot of movies that have either come out recently or will be coming out soon. Stephen Curry's new film GOAT released on February 13th and made a groundbreaking estimate of $50 million on its opening day, which is pretty good for a family movie in theaters recently. There are also a lot of movies coming up this month. Starting with Pixar's newest animated movie, Hoppers, which will be a sci-fi film about an animal lover using technology to befriend animals and protect them from a human threat, releasing on March 6th. Also coming out soon is Project Hail Mary on March 20th, starring Ryan Gosling in a classic space adventure. Leve has announced a deluxe edition of her third studio album. Here's Talon to tell you more.
Leve is a Chinese and Icelandic jazz and bossa nova musician. If you don't know who she is, you might know her most popular song, From the Start.
That when I talk to you, oh Cupid walks right through and shoots an arrow through my heart.
Or the remix version called Confess Your Love, which went viral.
Run to me, confess your love, at least just say, confess your love, at least say.
Earlier last year in August, she released her third studio album, A Matter of Time. And she recently wrapped up her first arena tour for the album. And on February 23rd, she announced A Matter of Time, The Final Hour, scheduled for release on April 10th. She is releasing a new song called How I Get. She had this to say about the deluxe edition.
It's an addition to A Matter of Time, so it's 4 extra tracks that I've written just in the past few months, and I felt were the necessary songs to end the A Matter of Time chapter, and I'm really, really proud of those songs. I think it's the best work on the album.
She has done something similar to this with her previous album, Bewitched. She released the standard edition and then later released Bewitched the Goddess edition. That's all from me.
Thanks, Talon. Coincidentally, that's also all for me. Now let's head back to the desk.
Thanks, Jojo.
Hey, Hiram, how's that weather today?
Thank you, Hendo. Alrighty. Tuesday, we have a high of 39 with a low of 25. Oh my gosh. On Wednesday, we have a high of 61 with a low of 34, partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, we'll have a high of 41, a low of 31, somewhat snowy. Same with Friday, which is a high of 41 as well, and a low of 27. We'll get a little bit warmer on Saturday with a high of 48 and a low of 31. And on Sunday, continuing the trend, we have a high of 55 and a low of 39. Monday, a high of 63 and a low of 35 with partly cloudy skies. And on Tuesday, we go a little bit lower again with a high of 39 and a low of 25. That's all from me. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Hiram.
And thank you for watching OlyTV. Have a wonderful Wednesday, Titans.